After that long story, let us come to the example. But remember that story is quite important because every year 2 or 3 marks question comes from that small story. So please spend some time, try to understand what is angle of dip, what is declination, and how this horizontal component works. And remember what will happen at the poles to the magnetic needle. The horizontal compass is useless. You need a vertical compass that will point in that north and south direction. It will be straight in that direction. So this is completely, this will become completely vertical at the poles, vertical compass. Now example 5.9. In magnetic meridian of a certain place, the horizontal components of earth magnetic field is given. So H is given and the dip angle is 60 degree. So angle of inclination I is given and HE is given. What is the magnetic field of earth at this location? So you need to know what is BE. So you know what is the relation between HE and BE? HE is simply BE cos theta, cos I or cos theta, cos I. Now let us put angle is 60 degree I. So BE is HE upon cos 60 degree. So BE is H upon cos 60 degree, 0.626, this is 0.26 G, and cos 60 degree is 1 by 2. So that means we get 0.52 Gauss. We get 0.52 Gauss. Now this is about the origin of Earth's magnetic field. Please read it on your own. Let us come to this new topic, magnetization and magnetic intensity. This is a new topic. The Earth abounds with a bewildering variety of elements and compounds. In addition, we have been synthesizing new alloys, compounds and even elements. One would like to classify magnetic properties of these substances. So now we have come to the magnetic properties. In the present section, we define and explain certain terms which will help us to carry out this exercise. So we are going to define magnetic properties of the materials. And first we have to define some of the quantities. We have seen that a circulating electron in an atom has a magnetic moment. So that we have seen, if an electron is moving, so there will be a current and this will generate some magnetic moment. In a bulk material, these moments add up vectorially and they give a net magnetic moment which is non-zero. Suppose these magnetic moments are not in random direction. So what we get? We will get some addition. What is the vector addition? Suppose one is going in this direction, one is going in this direction. So what is the addition? 0. But both are going in this direction and third one is going in this direction. So if there is some kind of a structure which is not fully random, so we will get some net magnetic moment. So this is positive, this is positive, this is negative. So we get one positive magnetic moment. So same thing they are trying to say. So in some materials, this is not completely random. We define magnetization M of a sample to be equal to its net magnetic moment per unit volume. So what is capital M? Capital M is nothing but small m, and this is sigma. Small m for all the electrons and divided by volume. Capital M is sigma m upon V, and this sigma m, that means magnetic moment for all of them is combined, and this is called M net. Okay, so this quantity is called magnetization. Capital M is magnetization. Total magnetic moment divided by volume. Let us take a small piece of iron. Okay, so it has some magnetic moment, and let us say that magnetic moment M net. And if we divide that magnetic moment by its volume, so what we get? We got magnetization. In short, what is magnetization? Magnetization is magnetic moment per unit volume. Magnetic moment per unit volume is called magnetization. Okay, so this is magnetization. Magnetization is nothing but magnetic moment per unit volume. So m is a vector quantity. So since this is vector and this will also be a vector, because v is not a vector. And what is the dimension of this? Dimension is L inverse A. Remember, this small m was NIA. So n does not have any dimension. I has a dimension of A, that means ampere, and area has a dimension of L square. Now we divide it by volume, that is L cube. So what is the dimension? L to the power minus 1 A. So this is the dimension of this magnetization, L inverse A. And what is the unit? Ampere meter inverse. Ampere meter inverse, because for magnetization ampere meter square divided by meter cube, so it will become ampere meter inverse. So this is unit of. Consider a long solenoid of n turns per unit length and carrying a current I. The magnetic field in the interior of the solenoid was given by. So we have already discussed the case of a solenoid which is long with n turns per unit length, and the magnetic field inside the solenoid was B naught is equal to mu naught Ni. If the interior of solenoid is filled with the material with non-zero magnetization, again this mu naught is only when it was vacuum inside, there was nothing inside the solenoid. Now we are going to change this thing. This is the solenoid and we are filling this with some material. Let us say we are filling this solenoid with some kind of material inside. There is some material. If the interior of the solenoid is filled with the material with non-zero magnetization, so we are filling some material which has a non-zero magnetization, the field inside solenoid will be greater than B naught. And you remember that example when we took the galvanometer, moving coil galvanometer, and we put soft iron in the core of that galvanometer. Why? To increase this magnetic field, because iron is a magnetic material. So we filled that core of that moving coil galvanometer with soft iron. So we fill this solenoid with some material which is magnetic, that means iron or nickel. The net magnetic field B is in the interior of the solenoid may be expressed as, so now this will increase. One thing is sure, we know that this will increase. So this will become initial magnetic field plus some additional magnetic field which has come because of this material, where Bm is the field contributed by the material core. So we have filled some material and Bm is the field due to material. It turns out that this additional field B is proportional to the magnetization. So what has been seen, this additional field is proportional to magnetization. That means Bm is proportional to M and we put a constant of proportionality. Bm is proportional to magnetization and constant of proportionality is mu naught, where mu naught is the same constant permittivity of the vacuum. It is convenient to introduce another vector field H called magnetic intensity. Now let us define what is the magnetic intensity. What is called magnetic intensity? Magnetic intensity H is equal to B upon mu naught minus M. Magnetic intensity is equal to total magnetic field divided by mu naught minus magnetization. So let us rearrange this thing. So what we have? We have this H is equal to B minus mu naught M upon mu naught. Take mu naught this side, mu naught H, and this also this side plus mu naught M is equal to B, and let us take this mu naught outside common. So what we have this mu naught is equal to H plus M, mu naught into H plus M is equal to B. So this we have. So we have this equation, B is equal to mu naught H plus M, where H is the magnetic field intensity and this M is the magnetization. So this is B, total magnetic field is mu naught H plus M. Now try to understand this thing. So this H works as an external component and this M or N mu naught works as the additional component which is due to the magnetic material introduced in the solenoid.